about that because I did not want to come here at all. It's not like I was like, "Ooh, let me live an earth life or have a body." I did not want to. In fact, I was angry because when that man walked past me and was able to go to heaven, why can't I? Because I flew with Jesus and it was so cool. It's all I ever want to do again. Like it was just so cool.
I hear you. I guess we just got to finish our mission here. Finish our mission. Yeah, I tried to
Yeah,
say
that's right.
finish our mission. That's how I see
Mm-hmm.
it too. Finishing our mission. Like you said, I'm on a mission.
Yes.
I'm on a mission. And
Oh, yes.
that's how I've felt ever since my memory started coming back. And now I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I understand it now. It's my
Yes.
mission. You know, some people think that, and I've read and heard some people talk about this, and you may have heard this too about that this reincarnation thing can be a
A
trap.
soul trap. I've heard of
Yeah.
that too. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I've thought about that because I did
Mhm.
not want to come here at all. It's not like I was like, "Ooh, let me live an earth life or have a body." I did not want to. In fact, I was angry because when that man walked past me and was able to go to heaven, why can't I?
Yeah.
I literally was asking, I got hurt from that last life. That man on earth hurt me. And now I have to go back? Why can't he? I was so angry. I think though that I was in the middle of something and that life got cut off. So maybe
Mhm.
it was a lesson that I was supposed to learn. I was supposed to learn about love. Love is not controlling and uh love is gentle and
Right.
kind. And I was not. I mean, yeah, I loved my husband obviously, but I was more like you break up with that girl because I have a reputation. And also I didn't want my marriage to end. I wanted him
Yeah.
to, and I'm not going to share. So um I think that the reason that I had to live a life where I got cheated on was to learn the lesson where I'm not going to grovel at somebody and make them stay with me. I'm going to love myself and honor myself and know that that's not tolerable and it's unnecessary. And if they're cheating, then that means there's something wrong in the vibration. Yeah, there's forgiveness and you can, it maybe work things out, but if they're continually abusing and cheating and whatnot, that's not right.
Mhm.
So, and I think that I got cut off from that because I was so frantic that I probably attracted the car accident, which caused
Mhm.
me to die. But the body was just too far gone and they
Mhm.
couldn't send me back to
Mhm.
finish it. So I had to start over in a brand new body. Like none of that was explained to me. I kind of had to figure it out through listening to other people's experiences
Yeah.
and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I see why I had to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense too. It I to me as well. And I know they don't explain everything to us.
No.
Or yeah, or we just don't remember. But
Mm-hmm.
because we need to figure things out on our own. I've learned that
Yep.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure things out on our own. Doesn't do any
It's
good for
kind of
them to
fun.
explain everything. It is
Yes,
kind of
it is
fun,
fun.
especially when
Yeah.
you start to put things together. You're like, oh, now I get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is fun. Yeah, I love that you said that. And I love what you shared about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That's
awesome.
huge.
Yeah, it is
Huge.
huge. Yeah, and I don't know, do you know about the Law of One teachings?
Not really. I've heard
Okay.
of it. It's like uh I really don't know that much to quote it. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
So
no, that's okay. There's one quote in there that I remember that stuck. I mean, it's amazing teachings, the raw teachings, the Law of One. But one quote that always sticks out for me is in in forgiveness lies the stoppage of the wheel of karma.
wow, and that would make sense because I'm telling you, when I saw that boy and he was
Mm-hmm.
reading the Bible and he looked up at the window and thought of me, it was like he said, I forgive you because he's thinking of me. And that's when I separated and went back to being with Jesus, not stuck in that life.
Yeah,
So the forgiveness broke it off
right.
because I asked Jesus what would happen if he didn't forgive me. And he said you'd need to live a life together. And I still don't know exactly what he means by that. Like how far in depth would that be until
Mm-hmm.
he forgives me? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have that best friend of mine in this life because she had forgiven me. It was just like I canceled something, and so she was upset. But then she forgave me. I remember getting hugs, and that was over. So
So was that also part of your forgiveness too? Because you said, what I remember you said, you were talking about she talked bad about you. Is that right?
yes, yes, and I
Okay.
forgave her instantly. I'm like, I understand why she did it, but man, it was like I could hear everything she said about me to other people, but I
Okay.
also felt how she felt. It was like I was her.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
knew why she was saying it. I knew how she felt. I understood it, but it still was like, dang, I didn't even mean it like that. And I'm thinking, Jesus is watching and she's talking about me like that. I hope he's not judging me or something. You know what I mean? I didn't want him to think I was a bad person based on what she was saying. But
Mhm.
it was probably, it could have been like the negativity passing on to other people, but it did end when we forgave each other. And of course, I didn't know while I was alive that she was saying those things. It only came out after, but it's not like she
Right.
was horrible about it. It just went a few days because I remember her working and her talking to her coworkers about me. And I'm like, but I literally, I kept going up to her. I didn't even mean that. Like,
So it was
so I
something
was
you
kind of
said or
upset.
did. I must have missed that
Yeah.
part that, okay,
Yes. So
that hurt
I
her.
think what it was that I
Okay.
canceled on her. Like we
Okay.
were supposed to hang out and I canceled on her, but I didn't mean anything by it, but she
Gotcha.
took it the wrong way. And
Okay.
so she was like complaining to other people about how I treated her or whatever. And I was like, I didn't even, gosh, like I didn't see that perspective coming at all because I didn't mean anything that she was saying. So then when she saw me, and I literally told her exactly what I was thinking, because I saw myself approaching and giving a hug and everything, and I was like, wow, this is weird. That's me. Like here I am giving. It's like I remember it happening, but now I'm her. This is weird. But like after the forgiveness and the hug, I was able to step outside.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's just
Nice.
interesting how that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. That what you talked about with the soul trap thing, I agree with that. I totally, I feel that if we don't clear stuff up in a certain lifetime that we came here to
Yep.
clear up or experience,
That's
then
it's exactly.
we
Yep.
find some way. I mean, we agree eventually. Okay, all right. And when you said, "What if I don't?" and he said, "You won't like it." Is that right?
Yeah.
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 I kind of got something like that too with him. Only it was more along the lines, just for me, of that I would be very upset if I didn't take this opportunity to,
That makes sense.
and I might have to start a new cycle. 26,000 years, who knows? Because what I understand, we're at the end of a yuga, which is a 26,000 year cycle, moving
Wow.
into the higher frequencies. So if we didn't make this ride, this wave, that and clear stuff up, that we might have to start over in another cycle, perhaps. I don't
Wow.
know. I don't
Well,
know,
I'm glad
but
I
yeah,
came. Yeah, because
yeah,
he knows me. He knows everybody. And he knew that I would not want to do more work than I have to. That's why he showed me that instance with the girl outside of the when I was smoking weed with her outside the apartment.
uh-huh.
He showed me you'll have to relive this life if you keep going down this path. And it was like I was so separated from it. I wasn't even involved with it. It was kind of on the screen playing out, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. It's fine. I don't even like drugs. Uh, of course, I smoked a few times, but uh,
We do, hey, we do our thing, and
yeah,
the key is to forgive ourselves. Not that we need
yeah,
forgiveness, but forgive. And that's what I remembered. The
oh yeah,
forgiveness thing was huge for me, definitely.
yes, it is
Forgiving,
huge, and that's
yeah,
I've been doing that myself too, forgiving myself for anything I've ever done, forgiving anybody who's ever come into my life. I don't want any problems. I want everything to be let go.
yeah.
I'm trying really hard.
Well, hey, you're doing amazing. Look at what you're sharing. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So when's your book coming out?
Oh, and you know what's funny? I feel like I'm supposed to write a book, but I haven't done it. I thought about doing that a few years ago, and I was like, hey, I'll just do YouTube interviews. But some people don't watch YouTube. So reading a book would be just fine.
Yeah, we're having it out there. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's an amazing story. You definitely need to
Thank
get
you.
your story out there for sure. I mean,
I
you're
do.
getting it out, yeah, and
Yeah,
it's amazing. I believe that it helps people a lot
thank you. I
with,
sure hope so.
yeah, yeah, with
Hmm.
remembering, knowing that
Yeah.
we are loved. I find it interesting that they had to call him. We got to get him. Is that what they said? Well,
Yes.
let's get him.
Yeah. They looked at each other and said, "We need to get him." And I was like, "Get him." Like, am I throwing up? I better be throwing up that much of a ruckus because I'm going to Earth. Like, I literally was thinking this. I was upset. I was like, I'm not staying here. Oh my God, I was loud. And I was disruptive. They can't have that up there. And that's why he came through whatever dimension. He was in the throne room of God, because as I've done research, okay, because there was white souls everywhere and they were singing and they were emanating love and peace and perfection, and I
Mhm,
could not go in there. Like,
mhm.
even if I said excuse me and went through the guides and past Jesus,
Yeah,
I would have been thrown out of that room.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I
I'm sure.
I don't know if it's because of my vibe. Like, I told you, I was upset. I was angry. The husband, I got to get back to Earth. I'm dead. I don't want to be dead. Okay, I understand there's life after death. I got to get back. I think I may have been an atheist, but I don't know. But I remember having seen images of Jesus. So when I saw him, really, I was like, but you don't look like Jesus. But he was Jesus.
It's interesting because I saw him with blue eyes too, and his eyes just held the whole universe. And
Yes.
I've expressed that too. And his
Yes.
eyes are mesmerizing, and I saw them with blue, and they're to me, it was kind of like it's almost like you can't look at him, but you can't not look at him. Does that make
Oh
sense?
my.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's why when I saw his marks and I was like, you really are Jesus. It was like I was staring at him, like
Yeah.
staring, and I just couldn't look at anything else. In fact, I remember it was like he was coming closer and closer to me, or I was going closer and closer to him, and I just remember, like, we were about that far apart, and I was like, wow. But then when we talked, of course, I backed off, and that's when I was asking about the husband and stuff. Actually, when I asked about my husband, that's when he backed off. And um of course, he had told me there are no tears in heaven and things like that, because I was told that life is over. I can't go back. And I was just like, oh, what about the husband? I don't want this. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. So
yeah,
do you remember, just one more question, and
sure.
do you remember when this lifetime was? Have you tried to do any research on her, or get a name, or check into it, or where, or
I've
anything? If
I've
you were in a
looked up.
car, it wasn't that far back, right?
Right. It wasn't too far back, I don't think.
Okay.
But the weird thing is, I do remember being a girl having to wear a dress and bonnet
Mhm.
to the playground. But
Okay.
then I remember driving a car and being near palm trees. So sometimes I wonder, am I remembering multiple lives? But it seems to fit so chronologically that it doesn't make sense for me to remember other lives.
Yeah,
But
I see.
but I don't I've done some research. I Have you ever heard of Kevin Ryerson?
Not sure. I,
He's either written a book or co-authored a book about soul work and things.
okay.
My
I don't
friend,
know.
yeah, my friend had told me about him, but I ended up doing research because I had flashbacks of memories of a particular life. Now, I'm not sure if it was my most recent one or if it was
Mhm.
a different one, which led me into reincarnation and wanting to tell my story publicly. But there is a person that I remember, and I had flashbacks. I looked her up, which I'm not comfortable with talking about, but he
Okay.
told
Yeah.
me that I was that soul.
Mm, okay.
So I was like, okay, that's why I have the flashbacks. That's why I have the memories. I even, and she's known enough that I was like looking into my subconscious, looking for memories of who this person was. And I saw a Ford truck and I was like, what? So I Googled, and there it was, a truck that was in her life. Now it wasn't hers, but I don't really want, like, I've told my friends about this situation. I just don't really want it public, or if somebody feels like contacting me personally and asking, it's not like I don't want to advertise or
No, I
whatever.
get it. I get it. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, and it's for you anyway. It's for you
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, the I'll just say I wasn't sure, but then when I was researching, my clock matched her birthday perfectly. And I was like, what? That's so weird.
Here's your sign.
Yeah, yeah. And also she was an Aries too. So I was like, was it have I been an Aries every time? I don't know.
Interesting. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, Angela, thank you. Thank you so much. We've been talking for a while here. I really appreciate you sharing your story. I hope I have you on, if you don't mind coming back on.
Sure.
I'd love to talk to you more. Yeah, I'm sure you'd have more to
Yeah.
share.
Oh
I
yeah.
still have more
About a lot of
questions.
things.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Awesome. Awesome.
if you review this and you were like, oh, I need to ask for that, yeah, I'll come on for whatever. I would love to.
Okay, yeah, because that's I feel them all the questions going on in my mind. I just haven't been able to articulate them yet. But
Sure.
okay, and thank you everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please do all the YouTube things, subscribe, like, comment if you would. And Angela, thank you again for being here.
Thank you very, very much
Okay,
for having me.
sure. Don't go anywhere. Bye, everyone.